Lansing for county commission, she then went on to, as a U.S. Senator, to chair the Senate Agricultural Committee, which is, one of the largest and most important. And, no woman had ever done that. And so it just goes to show that her lesson to the rest of us about just jump in. I know I care. I know enough about this to talk about why I care and why it's important. And if you elect me, I will know the minutia. It's just absolutely key because, as I said, if you wait too long, the door will be closed. You wouldn't have the opportunity. Someone's else already in that seat, and as we know, incumbents tend to get reelected. So the longer you wait, the narrower the window is, or the opening in the window.
Yeah, I'm thinking too about how we can raise our boys. So since Sophie and I have sons, how we can raise our sons to be better at encouraging women to jump in and to be thinking of women as candidates and leaders. I think some of that just comes from showing them examples. There's no doubt that my sons believe that Hillary Clinton would have been a great president. A lot of that is perhaps just me telling them a lot, but thinking about ways that we can encourage our sons to be good allies for women.
Well, the thing on that point, I would say something along the lines of what I said a moment ago. I think it's, the task is teaching boys, and to keep teaching them maybe until they're men, that women and men are equal, and we have equal capacity to do good things in the world and to be leaders and to have power. And once they get that, then the next step is, a woman president is just fine, or a woman governor, or a woman mayor, or a woman speaker of the House. But I do think the first step is getting them to understand that we are equals and that women don't have lesser talents or lesser abilities or lesser knowledge, for sure. More women are graduating from college than men. And then they can get to that point of being our allies in, for instance, political campaigns.
I think my final question is just what one piece of advice would you like to leave for our listeners who are considering running for office?
I would say, based on everything we've seen this last year, and as we talked about before, just go for it. This is also a really mundane example, but, women wake up every morning and they decide, I want to run a marathon next year, or, I want to swim a mile, or whatever it is. I want to get that next position at the office. So that's what this is. I wake up, I have this idea, let me figure out the steps to take, let me ask my friends and family for support, and let me remember that just because I run the marathon, it doesn't mean I'm going to win, but I might win the next time. So that's the other piece of it. So I would say just be smart about it in terms of going for what you want and figuring out the best way to get there, and just working hard to analyze on an ongoing basis where your opportunities are.
Well, my 6-year-old saw your book sitting on the coffee table and said, Mommy, are you running for president? You would be a great president. So
oh, that's so cool.
Perhaps that's the next step.
Well, you're going to keep me and all your other listeners posted, right?
I think president might not be my first step along the way, but
I mean, our current president had never won elected office before he became president, so why not?
That's true. I've got one up on him. I'm the treasurer of my condo board, so
You're already more qualified.
And Sophie told us on the last segment that she is running for office.
I'm not actually running for government office, but I'm running for the trustee of the General Theological Seminary of the Episcopal Church.
Oh, so that's terrific.
It's a church position, but...
Well, that goes back to where we began our conversation, that running for a position of public leadership that advances some good is what this is all about. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the church or the synagogue or the scout troop or you name it. It's, the people who commit themselves to these kinds of public efforts are the people that are to be admired and supported. So congratulations. I'm really glad you're doing that.
Thank you. I'm pretty excited. Most of my most strongly held beliefs are rooted in my religious beliefs, so I'm excited to get started with that.
Well, that's great.
All right. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. This has been really fantastic conversation, and I strongly encourage all of our listeners to buy your book, Every Day is Election Day, A Woman's Guide to Winning Any Office from the PTA to the White House. And I also encourage all of our listeners to run for office.
Terrific. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Hey, Arthur, what do you think about me running for president?
You'll be good.
Why would I be good at it?
Because you have a pink hat.
So having a pink hat makes you a good president?
Yep.
Cool. So should I do it?
Yep, you should.
Maybe I should run for something else first.
Okay.
What about mayor?
Yeah, mayor.
Do you know what a mayor does?
Yeah.
What does a mayor do?
I don't know.
The mayor is the person who runs the city.
The city?
Do you know who our mayor is?
Yeah.
Who's our mayor?
President. January, February.
President January, February?
Yeah.
I think our mayor is Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. I love you.
Now let's say bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, podcast listeners?
Yeah. And bye-bye, podcast listeners.
Our theme music is called Sweeter Vermouth and was composed by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Our logo was created by Matthew Weflin, expressly for Two Broads Talking Politics, and is copyright 2017. You can contact us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com or at twobroadstalk on Twitter. Our podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. Please let us know if you have any trouble finding us.